Have you considered this? Drawing your Social Security early and then saving it up into a Roth IRA? Well, if you haven't, I'm going to talk through pros and cons and whether this is a viable strategy to consider. I've got that and more coming up. My name's Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. Early in my career, I was working with an individual. We're still serving him now, and he had a very unique pension. He's in law enforcement, and locally they had a very unique pension. All pensions have a formula, a calculation that determines, well, what is your pension benefit in retirement, and it's some variable, some multiplying factor times some salary component, highest 3 years, highest 5 years, last 5 years, something like that, and then times the years of service. And a lot of times pensions or businesses will say, well, we're going to cap this formula, we're going to cap your years of service. And a lot of police and law enforcement, they've got that cap. And so if you entered right out of college, or maybe didn't go to college and went straight into the academy, you can reach that cap of maybe 25 years or 30 years or whatever at a young age. And maybe you're not fully ready to retire, but you can max out your pension. And that was this individual's situation. He was going to max out his pension by like 52. Was not ready to retire, was still young, wanted to keep doing stuff. And his pension had a unique feature, and that they allowed you, when you reach this cap, they allowed you to start your pension and keep working. And you might say, well, shouldn't they all? No, that's a no-no, right? If you can't start your pension unless you retire. But in this unique case, he was able to start his pension. But when you did that, if you kept working, you could only work for 3 years. And they allowed you to take that pension and throw it into a unique retirement plan for up to 3 years. So then in 3 years, then he was forced to be done. And not only did he start receiving his monthly pension at that point, he then had this extra retirement account that had built up 3 years worth of his pension. Pretty cool strategy, and most folks that were in his situation use that because it's pretty unique. So something similar, have you ever thought of this? Drawing Social Security early and then using it to just stockpile into your Roth IRA. What if you drew Social Security a little bit earlier than you were otherwise going to and use that income to save up for retirement, and specifically save up into the Roth IRA? Does this strategy work? Is it one that you should consider? Well, it can work. It can, but it has a very, very narrow use case, and that's because of two very significant drawbacks with the strategy. These might be self-evident, but just to break it down, the first is that in order to contribute to your Roth IRA or to retirement, you need to have earned income. And Social Security in and of itself is not considered earned income. So by just turning on Social Security, that doesn't immediately make you eligible to actually put that money into a Roth, or even if you say, okay, I'll get more creative, I'll put it into an IRA or something like that. No, you have to have earned income, and Social Security isn't earned income. So that's one drawback. But then the other, okay, then I know I'll keep working, I'll have earned income, and I'll turn on my Social Security, and that hits drawback number two, and that is, if you earn too much income while drawing Social Security at a young age, at an early age, you could be penalized. That's right, your Social Security could be penalized. Within Social Security, you can begin drawing right at 62, or you can delay all the way till age 70, and really you can start at any time within that window. But there is a certain date that's a special date, and it's called your full retirement age. This used to be 65. The thing started kind of gradually moving it to 67, and depending on the year you were born, maybe yours is 66 in 8 months or 66 in 10 months. A lot of people, it's your full retirement age is 67. Well, who cares? What's the full retirement age? Well, if you turn on your Social Security before your full retirement age, you are limited in how much you can earn paycheck money before your Social Security is penalized. So essentially, this rule is there to prevent you from doing exactly what this strategy is intended to do, and that is, I'll keep working, I'll keep my normal job, I'll just turn on this side income, and I'll use that side income to save up for retirement. No. If you keep working and you make above a certain amount, around $22,000 or $1,800 a month, if you make more than that, then they start penalizing you. They start reducing your Social Security $1 for every 2 that you make over that. And so therefore, if you make a lot more than that, you could turn on Social Security and not actually receive any of it. It all gets penalized away. So that makes this strategy less usable, less relevant for lots of people, because many people do think, well, I'll retire around 65 or 66 or 67, but I'll turn my Social Security on early while I'm still working, and I'll save that money. And again, because you can only make $22,000 and change or less than a couple grand a month before your Social Security starts being penalized, sort of negates this as a strategy. The 2 circumstances where this could work is if you are younger than your full retirement age and you are truly working part-time, and therefore turning on your Social Security is just fine because you're making below that couple $1,000s a month or $22,000 for the year, because you've got other income sources you can live on. See, if you're working part-time and earning below that amount and you turn on Social Security and you wanted to save that money into your Roth IRA, what are you living on? What income are you living off of? If you have inheritance or other dollars that you've saved up for retirement, maybe in that circumstance you could do this and it would make sense to do. That's one narrow kind of application. The other is if you are working past your full retirement age, working past age 67. That'd be the other situation where you say, well, because once you turn your full retirement age, you can work and earn as much as you want and still draw your Social Security. There'd be no penalty. There'd be no penalty on your Social Security. So in those instances, you're working past age 67, maybe you'd want to work with your CFP to see if it makes sense in that scenario. You'd also need to be aware of the other trade-off though, and that is as soon as you start your Social Security, you would then get a cost of living adjustment on your Social Security each and every year, but your Social Security outside of that doesn't continue to grow. You've kind of limited your Social Security, you've capped your Social Security at that point as soon as you turn it on. If you delay your Social Security, it grows a little bit each year, that actually technically each month that you delay drawing it. And over a year, it's about an 8% growth by delaying it. And so you'd have to really wrestle with and do that math and work with your CFP to say, well, does it make sense? Would it make sense to start my Social Security early and cap its growth so that we could implement this strategy? Or would we be better off delaying our Social Security and allowing it to continue to grow 8% a year and not turn it on until we need to? Very interesting approach. Doesn't work, doesn't apply in a lot of scenarios, but it could apply to you. Work with your certified financial planner. Look at all 6 areas of your financial life. See if it makes sense and go from there. So work with your CFP on that. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K, wisemoneyshow.com. You can find us there as well, or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.